Hello, you beautiful heart and soul. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Alexis Ray, and today we are going to be talking about self-management when you are living with a chronic health condition or recovering from a traumatic brain injury or a brain injury of any kind. It's kind of crazy to even be saying this, that I now have a YouTube channel, but the whole entire point of this is to be able to bring 15 years experience of overcoming brain injuries, learning how to adjust my life around random chronic illnesses and conditions that have just really directed my life in multiple ways throughout different seasons of my life. And all of this experience has been my survival. What have I done to survive my life of going through 6 serious concussions, of having multiple kidney infections that landed me in the hospital with no diagnosis, of having other digestive issues and never being able to reach a solution? How did I come through all of that? No doctor was ever able to give me a clear path, which is why today talking about self-management in regards to chronic illness, I think is so important and really is the number one place to start when you are recently diagnosed with a chronic illness. If you are adapting to life after a brain injury or some type of concussion, or just going through a different type of change with your body where all of a sudden everything that you've always done is no longer working. Your body's not responding to it anymore. So what within self-management do you need to assess and be able to reevaluate? Because no matter how many doctors you're talking to, no matter how many specialists you've gone and seen, it just feels like you're not making progress, or you can't seem to find an answer no matter where you go. What do? How does this happen? What's next? In 2022, I was about a year and a half out from my car accident, which was in 2021. This car accident left me with my 6th concussion. I was hit by the airbag, and I had a huge regression of symptoms about a year and a half afterwards. Basically, no one knows why. After that migraine spell, my entire life changed because I really didn't go back to normal. My symptoms just stayed and I didn't get better. I remember a conversation that I was having with my dad on the phone. It was maybe 8 weeks or so after my symptoms had picked up. I really wasn't getting better. I was feeling sick all of the time, and we can go into that in a different video. But what I'm trying to get to is having this conversation with my dad and just on the phone telling him, I think I need to get to a doctor. I need to get into a neurologist. I just need someone to tell me what is going on and what to do. And if you can imagine having this phone call, I was sitting actually in the parking lot of a shop. So hydration therapy is a therapy that I've started to do consistently over the past year in order to help manage my symptoms. And I was sitting in the parking lot of this shop that I had either just received treatment at or was walking in to receive treatment for. And I'm on the phone with him crying because my life is just in shambles. Like, I feel sick every single day and I'm not getting better and my head hurts and I'm like alone in this. So I'm saying to Dad, like, I just need something. Like, I need a direction. I need some help. I just need someone to tell me what to do. And in the wise words of my father, who, shout out to Poppy, love you, always seems to know what I need to hear, even when I don't really want to hear the words that sometimes come out of his mouth. But basically, he just said, Lex, no one can tell you what to do. Like, you're going to go to a doctor's office and they're going to guess at a treatment as to like how to make this work for you. And then you're going to try that treatment and you're going to report back to them, and then you're going to try again and you're going to make adjustments. And really what I took away from that is no one can tell you what to do. This is the first thing I want you to know when it comes to creating a self-management plan for yourself. You are your own expert. There is no one else in this world, on this planet, that knows your body the way that you do. There's no one else that knows where your thresholds are. And because of the circumstances you've been put in now with your health, due to your health changes, you are your own expert. You are the authority. So when it comes to everything else that we're going to talk about in this video to build a successful self-management plan, first things first, you are your own expert. Everything that happens within your body, you are consulting yourself on. You're going to be listening to your body for those signals and trusting what your body is telling you. When you're creating a self-management plan, you're the expert. You are the authority on your body. And the second thing is to get around people that are willing to support and listen to you. This point can also go out to any caregivers that are watching this video. What we need has to be asked for, or someone has to ask us what we need. What do I mean by that? After my car accident in 2021, my cognitive ability to communicate what I actually needed or what I was struggling with went out the window. Like, I physically, mentally, emotionally was not able to communicate what I needed other than knowing that my body was not working the way that I wanted it to be. So I had to tap into my support system, and that support system had to be made up of people who believed my symptoms and believed the severity that I was telling them what I was experiencing. I had to find a support system that could then help me. So not only were they willing to believe me, but they were also willing to take action on those things that I needed help with and follow through on them. And then last but not least, emotionally, they just left space for things to exist. Because when your health changes, whether you're recovering from an accident or you received a recent diagnosis, this would never be anything that you ever chose for yourself, obviously. Feels like an obvious point, but sometimes it's like, oh, this happened to me and like now I'm trying to deal with it. And if I am dealing with it and I'm naming how hard it is, that makes me like a complainer, or I'm not, being optimistic going through it. Like, that is not the point here. So within a support system, within your care team that you are getting established to help with your own self-management plan, you want to make sure you have people that believe you. You want to make sure that you have people that are able and willing to take action on your behalf, and also those that are willing to just hear you out, let you say what you need to say, express the emotion. And these categories that make up the people in your support team may not all exist in one person. I was extremely lucky because after the car accident, I had my mom, who I've started the Evolving Truths podcast with. We've shared a little bit about our journey together, but I was really lucky because my mom embodied all three of those things. My care team really embodied all three of those things. But there may be different people in your life, and just one person is really good at leaving space for you to have a conversation about the emotional feelings that you're having. And maybe there's another person who is in a support group who can really relate to helping you follow through with your appointments or taking action or guiding you in the action steps you need to take. You could have all of these types of people rolled up into one person, or you may have different people in your life helping you cope with this. But the second important thing for your self-management plan is to make sure you are surrounded by team players. You're not setting yourself up for success if you're trying to do it alone. Find the resources, get in touch with someone. For myself personally, it was through the Brain Injury Alliance in Arizona. And prior to that, it was reaching out to the Colorado Concussion Clinic, which is where I received treatment. Whatever you're going through, whether it's brain injury, whether it's concussion, whether it's chronic illness, there is a community for you. So go find those people. The third point that I want to leave with you to set you up with success on your self-management plan with chronic condition, overcoming a brain injury, or adjusting to a recent diagnosis is that you are going to have to be patient. This is a journey. This is a continuation. More or less, you are in control of your own destination. And that is really point number 3. So first we have you are the authority on yourself. You have a group of people or someone around you that embodies those 3 things that we talked about as far as support goes. And last but not least, you know that this is going to take some trial and error. It's going to take beginning and continuing and seeing it through on the hard days. And I would say for your self-management plan and what you're putting down on paper, writing down your why. Like, why do I want to push through these terrible symptoms? Why do I want to reach out for help? And when you're living sick or you're living after a brain injury, we sometimes, as that person, feel like we're normal. We think we're performing the way that we always have. We don't realize how big the gap is between where we're normally functioning and how we're actually functioning after the accident, after our symptoms have set in, after our health has changed. The reason we don't realize that is either because it's subtle, or all of a sudden you're literally living in a new body and it's like, okay, we're here, we're performing, we're at our top notch. And then that's our new normal. So then we think, okay, here I am, this is as good as it gets, and I just have to live with it being that way. That is not true. So with the self-management plan, and the third point being that you are going to begin and continue this process, is knowing that it's going to be tough. It's knowing that you're going to have to overcome obstacles. It's knowing that you're going to have to fight through burnout as far as therapy or treatment or medications. Like, this can be a long road, but if you remember why you're doing this, what are you fighting for? Personally, after my symptoms regressed and I was completely debilitated, I was unemployable, I could maybe go 2 good days for every 3 to 4 bad days of like rough symptoms. My why simply became I wanted a quality of life. Like, I wanted to be able to go to a restaurant for dinner. I wanted to be able to drive. It may seem so basic, but that became my why. Like, why am I waking up every single day fighting for my quality of life? Is because I didn't want to be reduced to just staying in bed all day and not being able to live life. At the time, I was only 30 years old. I was 28 when the car accident happened. I am too young to let my life just become a puddle of mud in bed. So when it comes to your self-management plan, getting really clear on your why, what do you want to be able to do as your measure of success as you go through this journey of listening to your symptoms, learning how to adapt to your symptoms, finding the right care plan to help manage your symptoms, all of those things, and getting a clear picture of why every single day you are fighting so hard for your quality of life. Maybe you have kids. Maybe it's because you want to still be able to walk a marathon. Maybe it's something related to your career. I don't know what your why is, but whatever it is, write it down, put it on a sticky note, put it somewhere that you see it every day, multiple times a day, because that is your reminder, and that is going to be what continues to push you to keep going when you're tired and you're sick and you really just don't want to do it. I would say that's a wrap for our first video on YouTube. When it comes to creating a self-management plan for your life, because you are living with a chronic health condition, you are overcoming a brain injury, or you're adjusting to a recent chronic health diagnosis, key takeaways are to know that you are your own authority on your body, you are your own expert, and you are the person who knows what you need. You can be surrounded by people that leave space for your emotions, will take action and help you follow through on things that you can't do for yourself, as well as just help and support you throughout the process. And then last but not least, being really clear as to why you want to come out on the other side of this hurdle. What are you fighting so hard for? Because that's going to keep you going. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure that you like and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be coming out with a whole bunch of other videos covering topics to help your well-being, your self-care when living with chronic health conditions, overcoming brain injury, and wanting to thrive in life despite the circumstances that you have because of your health. Also, make sure to check out the Evolving Truths podcast. We are launching episodes every Monday on YouTube, and new streaming episodes come out on Tuesdays on podcast streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple, Google, and obviously the Tube. If you feel like you need help getting your life back, living with a chronic health condition, I'm your girl. My name's Alexis Ray. I'm working one-on-one with female entrepreneurs looking to balance and manage their symptoms so they can continue to grow their business and hit their career goals. You can find out more about working one-on-one with me or book me for a keynote speech on my website, which I will make sure the links are below for that as well. And until next time, please remember, life is beautiful and you create the magic. Have a good one.